Hi, this is Ed Roy, the CEO of Global Data Fusion, and we're happy to be able to give you a demonstration of our client interface here at Global Data, and also to tell you before we start with that demo that we are proud to be members as well of the National Association of Background Screeners. In fact, we put their logo on our front page as well. Now, for the clients, it's a very simple process of heading to the client login subdirectory on our web page. And normally the client would click on General Client Login. However, today for the demonstration, we're going to use the duplicate server, which is our demo server. In order to do that, we of course have to have credentials, and for that we'll enter our name. We're going to pretend today that we're Sally Jones and that we are working at the Acme Widget Company. In order to do that, we are going to follow some very simple instructions on the screen. For example, to order a new background, simply click on the New Order icon. When that happens, you are given, and don't pay any attention to these prices, these are just for demonstration purposes. For the incoming data, we expect that you will have an authorization. So for that, what we'll do is ask you to tell us where the authorization form is located. Either it's on file with you at Acme Widget Company, or it's not on file, or we have a facility where you can update or upload this authorization form into our system for permanent keeping. Now, that's important because occasionally we will get an audit from the federal government, and instead of having to send those auditors to your place of business, we can simply say, here's the authorization form that person signed. It's already in our system and ready to go, and it really becomes transparent to you. The person who is entering the data, their name shows up here, and we can limit access to this particular instance if necessary. For example, a person can be authorized to simply input data, or they can be authorized to input data and see the reports, or they can be authorized to input data, see the reports, and as well see the invoices. Now, our system is an a la carte system, so you check off basically what you want to run. And in this particular case, we're going to do a driving history, and we're going to do a county criminal, let's say, as well as a national criminal check. So with this, we are now going to proceed into the form where we put in the person's first name, and we'll make up a fictitious name here. Now, if you have AKAs, or also known as names, you can enter those here. It's not a requirement, and we can actually eliminate this need if you would prefer. But we do need a current street address, so we'll put 2090, and let's make it easy. And the zip code we'll assume is 70506. Also, you can put in previous addresses, but that is, again, not required. And the Social Security number is required, and as you see here, it says digits only, so we will enter digits only. The date of birth is also a required field, and we have choices here as to what we can do from the system as far as the format. So we're going to use the easy one. We'll say February 10th and 1985 will be the date of birth for this individual. If you'd like, you can also track the position applied for. The driver's license number, of course, is required if you're running a driver's license, and not only the number, but the state. This can be used. We prefer that if you know that a person has some sort of criminal record, then we would ask you to put it here. And let's say they do. They told you that they had a DWI in Chicago in, let's say, 1999. Applicant's phone number can be tracked here, although not required, and so is the same case with the applicant's email address. Now, Miscellaneous comments can be added here if necessary. And as we progress to the next screen, we're going to see that this is a check your work screen. And this allows us to see the information that we have in fact input into the system. Again, you might want to do a quick check here. And we did in fact require or request a DMV. And notice we didn't put in a driver's license number. So in red, here's a reminder that we need to collect this data. So we'll do that. I'll put in the driver's license number. And also the state of issue, in this case, Louisiana, and we'll submit it. Now, everything is complete. You have no longer that warning, and we have a total price here, and you can still delete the order. If you choose to submit the order, then you say, I agree. Notice this changes to submit. So we will submit the order at that point. Once the order has been submitted, it's a very simple process to go back and to see exactly what has been done so far on this particular applicant's background. So we're going to look at recently submitted reports today, for example, and this tells us that we have submitted Fred Goody today for his background. Now, if we want to check on the progress that Global Data Fusion is making, we simply click on the applicant ID and notice the caveat at the top. It says this report is still pending completion, so it's not finished yet. Don't use it. And it tells you exactly what we've done. Of course, since we just moments ago inputted this information, nothing has been done yet on the process. We can now fast forward to a completed application. I can show you what that report looks like. Of course, when an application is processed and we have done the background, then you receive an email in your inbox from Global Data Fusion saying, hey, this background is finished. You can now take a look at it. Incidentally, all of these backgrounds are stored permanently on our system, and we do not delete them, so you will permanently have access to them. So to find the background on an applicant, if you want to go to the applicant tab, simply type in the applicant's last name. In this case, Carlin will be one that we have prepared so that you can take a look at what a finished report would look like. And there's a Michael J. Carlin, and here's the applicant ID, so we would click on this. Notice now that the caveat is no longer there, that this is not complete, because this is complete. Here's the executive summary of this particular background. We've checked education, employment, a couple of county criminals, a global report, national, Social Security trace, credit report, and an MVR. So we're going to go through these, and by the way, this is already formatted for your printer. Simply print it if you wish, or remember, it'll always be on the system for you, and that can be a big plus as well. Now then, for the actual drill down into the background, here's what we found with the education. This is the format that we used. The applicant supplied this information, we verified this information, and of course you can see here it's a match. For employment verification, the applicant would supply the information in this column, and we would verify or find fault with the information on this column. For the court, what we did was we checked several places where the person had lived. We did criminal, county criminal, parish criminal searches for the past 7 years. And as you know, only convictions can be reported for indefinitely. Arrests drop off the record after 7 years. So we go back 7 years, and that will also carry the convictions as well as the arrest. A global report is something that we use to scan for any sort of international problems with the individual, a terrorist watch list, no-fly list, things of that nature. The National Criminal Database came back clean with this person as well. Here's the Social Security trace. This gives us the name of the person, and again, this is some false information that we dummied up so that we could demonstrate what the system report looks like. But this particular person lived in New York City, and from these dates, 5/1999 through 2/2001, and this is a trace of where that person has lived. Here is an example of a credit report, and this credit report has some issues with it. Those are in pink, and these are the places where the credit report has been checked recently. Here is a driver's record. Now, we are linked in with all 50 states for the driving records, and this is an actual driving record from the agency that issued the driver's license. In this particular case, the person's license is suspended. It was a commercial license. That is suspended as well. Here's a record of the speeding violations, the point system, the state codes that relate to those particular instances. And I think this person would be a poor risk as a driver because of the lengthy criminal history. So that is basically what this system looks like, and that is the interface for the clients. Something else that's very important to point out with our system is that we have some built-in aids to make the HR department's job much, much easier. As you know, with the Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act, there are certain requirements for communication if you are not going to hire someone with because of their background. One is you have to send a pre-adverse action letter that is already crafted, and all you do is click on this link, and here is the information that you can copy and paste and send to the applicant. And basically it says, we're pending a decision. Here's a copy of your background. See if there's anything that's wrong with it. If there is, here are the people that did your background. You can call them directly and discuss the issues. Also, we have a summary of rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I'll show you that as we go. Here are the rights. We have that built in as well. So you can copy and paste this, and the applicant will have it. After 7 days, you've decided that you do not want to hire this person. So to fulfill your requirements under the FCRA, you simply come back to the Applicants tab and click Adverse Action Letter. And this would follow the pre-adverse action letter. And this is something, again, that you can just simply copy and paste onto your letterhead. And this is a fulfillment of the FCRA responsibilities, and it's built into the system to save you an awful lot of time and effort. Again, this is Global Data Fusion. We appreciate your interest in the system, and we hope that we can serve you in the future and for a long time to come. Thanks for the time for this demo.